It's been a bit since we took a week break, but we're back to Unhinged and Unranked. Have you guys ever thought about the dinosaur chicken nuggets are chickens that we put in the shape of their ancestors? Food for thought, literally. Today we're talking about dinosaurs in video games. Ross came up with this idea. Really, I just kind of want to see where it's going. I want to see where we're going with this. Ross, what do we got on the docket today?
All right. Let's see. For dinos in video games, we got a little bit of history and different genres they show up in, uh, types of games that have dinosaurs in them, and eventually to some modern games with dinos and see what they're doing in that space.
All right, what are the early dino games you got on the mind, Ross?
All right. So some earlier Dino games are tend to be a lot more shooters based. Like there's Dino D-Day, Carnivorous Dino Hunt. They tend to be really more like the dinos are out to get you, more of like Jurassic Park themed. They're some kind of experiment that somehow created these dinosaurs, and they're all out to get us. We usually get the larger screen time or like raptors, velociraptors, some T-Rexes, a little bit of that. They tend to focus more on the carnivores, and many of those, uh, a few more in the Jurassic Park have taken more of a like horror sci-fi vibe to it. Instead of trying to paint it as like we're trying to coexist, Planet of the Apes, something. It's dinosaurs are out taking over everything. You need to survive. If you watch out, they're gonna eat you. Oakwood is a really good example of that. It's a horror survival game.
Turok. Is Turok in there? You guys
Yeah,
remember
Turok is
Turok?
pretty good. Yeah, there were a lot of dinos in Turok. That was more shooter based, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was an FPS. I remember playing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know when they first showed like the preview trailers of Escape from Tarkov, I thought it was Escape from Turok. I was like, oh, they're making another Turok game. Somebody should
That
make
would
a
be pretty
Turok
sweet.
mod for Tarkov.
That could be interesting. They should just remake Turok now in like UE5.
Yeah. Dinosaur extraction shooter could be kind of hype, honestly.
In terms of mods, there's Zoo Tycoon. It's Sims adjacent. You kind of make your own theme park. They made a dinosaur mod for that, where you can make a theme park for dinosaurs, and they instead of it replaces all the people who would go to tour your park with dinosaurs. It was a surprisingly popular mod for Zoo Tycoon, actually.
That sounds legit. I didn't play Zoo Tycoon, but I played Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I could see that being like a big hit and being fun to like create the park around it.
Frontier made the ones who make Elite Dangerous made an actual Jurassic World game. I think there's two of them, but they're like that. They're a dinosaur park kind of thing.
It's not one of the older games, but Jurassic World Evolution is very much one of those. You kind of build the park and you're managing the dinos in the different enclosures. It's got a little bit of freeform. You can like build the pens and segment them off and upgrade the dinos as you bioengineer them to hopefully not kill each other and yourself.
Yay! I thought
That was a console game, right?
Jurassic World 2 was, or Evolution 2 was newer. That's 2021. I thought that like just came out last year. It apparently did not. So the first one's even older than. It's on sale right now. Steam sale right now. $15.
This looks like sort of a junkier version of Ark, though. I'm somewhat surprised that there aren't more dinosaur games.
Well, it depends, right? Because dinosaur games isn't really a genre in itself. They present themselves in a lot of other genres. In some kind of like platformers, you see a little bit with Mario. You got Yoshi and Mario Land. Those are presented as dinosaurs. That's more of a it's a friendly and more integrated type dinosaur. They're pets working along with you type thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna look
But
up the
that's not the
dinosaur
main
Steam
theme.
tag.
What are you
No,
finding on there?
Lego Jurassic World,
Yeah.
My Singing Monsters, and just like all of the Ark stuff. And the Isle. The Isle's in there.
I think probably because Ark is probably the most successful of the games that are of that theme.
Well, it depends, right? It's definitely well known. It depends what kind of genre you're looking at, right? So, like the strategy civ building, that'd probably be more well known for like Jurassic World Evolution. For like a more friendly dinos, you're probably looking at more like Mario, that sort of game. Hunting, like if you want to just have dino fight, play the Nazi zombies version, but it's all dinosaurs. You're looking for more like Dino Hunt, Reptiles in Hunt, Dino D-Day. First person like simulator. The Isle it's been in early access for kind of a while. One that's actually out, Dinosaurs Prehistoric Survivors. That's kind of like an older version of the Isle. It's you are making a character, you're on an island, it's survival ish, but as the player, you are the dinosaur. So you're playing from the dinosaur's perspective and you're leveling up, upgrading your dino, and hopefully not getting eaten yourself.
That sounds kind of interesting, actually. I don't think I've ever played one like that. It's always been like you taming the dino or you taking care of and raising the dinos, and then they, for an attraction or for some kind of use, like top down, like strategy type thing. You're not actually the dino. That's which game are you talking about? The Isle?
The Isle and Dinosaurs Prehistoric Survivors. More of like raising the dinosaur. You're looking more at like Jurassic World Evolution and Ark. That tends to be more of in the survival genre type mechanic instead of the you versus them.
Yeah.
But then you also just have the goofy ones that people have likely seen before. If you've ever used the Google Chrome web browser and your internet has gone out,
Yep.
it plays a little dinosaur side scrolling game on your browser as an error message that you are no longer connected to the internet. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You can trigger it by manually navigating to it as well, but you're just kind of a little dinosaur and you run, and it's more Mario based. Like you just kind of side scroller, jumpy, avoid the mechanics. It's not super in depth, but
Dino Run?
Yeah. No, just, well, let me see. You check just Dino Game Chrome. Yeah, there you go.
This is so dumb. I've never seen this before. Never noticed that.
Well, have less stable internet connections. You'll see it a lot more.
Now we're gonna get distracted playing this. This is the podcast, everybody. It's Chrome Dino Let's Play.
I died to a cacti.
Wow.
So it's technically listed as survival, but I would put it in horror. Island 359. It's a
Oh, you're
Island
talking about that VR
359.
game?
Yeah, it's VR. So it's kind of a man v dino game. You're not taming them, you're not making allies with them, but it's in virtual reality. It's relatively new, but you're running around here, your little human-sized self, and you can see and get chased by tyrannosauruses and brontosauruses and whatever else you might piss off.
Can you kill the dinos?
You can. They have weapons and some projectile based, some melee. I think they have a few poison types as well. But the dinos can kill you pretty easy too.
Condi Dino.
I'd be
Condi
going full
DPS
dino murder. Can you ride the motherfucking dinos? Can you like get them?
No, that's more of a Ark survival type game. Pretty much every game that I've seen that you have a dino that you can interact with and ride that you aren't playing as the main character is pretty more in the survival game where you can kind of like tame and breed them.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of interesting. You were to one of your earlier comments, you were saying like, why isn't it really a genre? there's people that have really tried to make dinosaur games a genre a lot of times in a lot of different ways, but maybe The Isle is a good recent example. It's Star Citizen-esque in the early access forever type model. Is it ever really going to release? And that's a similar challenge that a lot of dino games face, is that they're good, but it's getting there. It's not there yet. Just need a little more dev time, and then it just keeps getting pushed and
perpetually.
Most of them don't actually cross the finish line.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's because there's not interest in it. Like, there's definitely people that do like dinosaurs, but I think that there's a lot of people that also think that dinosaurs are kind of juvenile in a way, and so they like shy away from it. Because I know a lot of people think that about Ark, even though Ark doesn't really look like a juvenile game. It's not, but the theme, like dinosaurs and liking them, is associated for some reason with being a kid.
You know, dinosaurs are older than we are.
A lot of people learned about dinosaurs when they were kids, so probably that. But I don't know. It's as animalistic as any other game. A hunting game that you go out and hunting animals. You're breeding some uber monster that going to be the next Godzilla.
Yeah, they learn about dinosaurs as kids, and then they don't have to think about it for the rest of their life until they get to AARP, and then they have to start thinking about dinosaurs again.
Well, yeah, and when you have it video game, like outside of video games, like how do most people even see or exposed to dinosaurs? A lot of it's probably through movies and fiction, and a lot of times they're over romanticized, like Godzilla, for example, where they're larger than life and taking down skyscrapers. It's hard to kind of put that with realism.
I mean, they kind of are larger than life, though, like a little bit.
Yeah.
They dummy thick.
Yeah, even what we think of as like a big snake.
They had Corolla-sized mosquitoes in those days.
Yep, sucker would suck you dry.
Now that's a big suck. Talk about a succubus. Those mosquitoes could suck a bus. That's crazy.
Yeah, some of the like large like boa constrictors, those are were kind of like 45 feet-ish and like a couple tons, like 40 feet of snake running at you.
That'd be crazy. Like, you're not getting away. That thing wraps you up, you're fucked. It's just gonna like immediately constrict and
with how pissed Slash got at Snake IO, could you imagine that in real life? Holy shit. I don't know, Florida man could probably take it on just fine. The rest of us would be screwed, but for Florida, it wouldn't be that crazy.
Well, there's Sarcosuchus. Those are the Florida man's alligator. Those suckers got about 30 feet, 4 tons. They're known as giant crocodiles. And actually, a lot of the fossils have been found in Florida.
I mean, they just cloned the dire wolves, right? So it's not long until some rich dude's gonna take a chicken and fucking turn it into a velociraptor.
Oh yeah, I did read about that recently. Is it a real die? It's not a real one though.
It's like, it sounded like it was gene editing, like it's sort of. I don't think they cloned it from scratch. They took existing dogs or wolves or something and like kind of gene edited them with whatever leftover genes they could find, I think. I only read it in like a Google synopsis, so I don't know how accurate that is. So it's like kinda. That seems like it's probably a bad thing. If we've gotten that good at gene editing, that's probably not going to go well for the rest of us peasants.
No, especially not with AI coming up.
We're going for we're dystopian maxing. We're going for every dystopian sci-fi timeline at the same time.
It's a convergence.
Yeah, no, that's a real singularity. We're gonna live The Division, Jurassic Park, fucking The Matrix, Terminator, Battlestar Galactica. We're just gonna do it all in one go, get it out of the way. If humanity survives, we're just gonna be like the 40K version of humanity. Like, we're going full Imperium at that point. If we survive this next century, we're gonna be such badasses, whoever survives that shit.
Thanksgiving, cook up a fried raptor.
Fried raptor.
Oh my god.
Fried pterodactyl. We're going duck hunting today with the 50 cal buckshot on the back of the Jeep.
I mean,
Dennis,
now that
bring
I'm
the
thinking
hunting
about it, which
ballista.
one? What do you think would be the best tasting dinosaur? Probably the ones with the big ass necks, because those motherfuckers don't
Brontosaurus.
eat other animals; they eat plants, right?
Yeah, Brontosaurus would probably be pretty far up there. Raptors, honestly, just I like chicken,
I like
and
chicken.
raptors are pretty darn close
Maybe
to
they all
chickens.
taste
They
like
were
chicken.
feathered little buggers. A lot of them, they would run fast. Some could fly, but it was kind of more like a chicken. Like they fly some, but like you're not going to see them being a migratory species
Mhm.
either.
And probably little enough that we could kill them easily.
Gonna chase
Or
him down in the
easier.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, but in terms of like thinking like a cow, maybe, yeah, Brontosaurus would probably be more cow-like in terms of. I mean, it's actually closer to like a giraffe, a super long neck and herbivore, but uh, it's got a lot of stomachs and it not a lot of brain.
Just like
And
Slash.
not a lot of brain. That's me.
I like how he just takes it anymore. He doesn't even,
Eat a lot.
fight back
Super
anymore.
dumb. Yep.
But yeah, in terms of like realism, if you want to go for the more realism in the games, there's a few of the hunter ones, reptiles in Hunt. They went for semi-realism. But then you have ones that maybe break a little more of the believability, then go for the romanticized version rather than reality. There's a few dinosaur enemies in Monster Hunter, for example. Those tend to be pretty large and gnarly.
Gnarly. You know, you say romanticized, but why aren't we getting any like dinosaur rom-coms? Like, okay, we've got Twilight, we've got vampires, right? But where's the fucking Stegosaurus romance? Come on, Nora Roberts, stop letting us down. Call it the Pegasaurus.
I don't
Ross
know.
is
There
choking,
probably
laughing at
is
that.
something. Like, have you seen all those like super erotic
It's on Reddit, I'm sure.
novels that? Hold on,
I'm sure it's on
I'm
Reddit.
sure that
they got dragons fucking cars, so it's really not that
Wait a
much
minute,
of
you said that
an FTL jump.
you were in Barnes and Noble earlier. You didn't see that there's a whole fucking section in there for those erotic novels
there's
that
the
women
monster,
like to read.
Yeah, the monster.
Bro, there's
stuff.
like whole like sections that are like werewolf, vampire. Then there's like, I saw the last time I was there was a whole fucking section for lizard people. I was like, what? Who the fuck is reading this?
Bearded says the Fourth Wing is a really popular book talk romance book with dragons.
See,
Which
yeah,
are just
see,
dinosaurs with wings. I mean, kind of right. Where's our 100% science based dragon MMO?
When you break from dinosaurs to like dinosaurs are more mystical, right? So those tend to be in the romance scene that people would tend to be into that sort of thing. Probably would be closer to lizards, I guess, for the dinosaur side, but when you get to some of the flying creatures, dinosaurs do often kind of cross that barrier.
They cross the blood-brain barrier.
listen, I think that there really is only one dinosaur video game that's been successful, and it's Ark.
I mean, Ark is the big one, yeah.
It's the only one. Turok fucking fell off when the consoles stopped being super popular or being the main.
Jurassic World.
Fuck, bro. Who the fuck do you know that plays Jurassic World?
Horizon almost counts, I guess. That's like adjacent.
Horizon what?
Right?
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Zero Dawn, yeah. They're like
with those mech dinos?
robotic
No, get the
dinosaurs.
fuck out of here. No, that does
It's
not
dino
count.
adjacent. It's dino adjacent.
It's
It's a
I agree with
dinominator.
that.
It's mech.
But it's definitely not dino.
I used to play the Orion games. Like there was Orion Prelude, and they were like Unreal Engine asset flip shooters, but they were pretty fun. They had janky physics, and you had like it was like a survival shooter, and you had tanks and stuff. And I remember we'd grab a mech and we'd put the mech on top of the tank, and it was Unreal Engine, so you had like the parented velocity. So like if something was on an object, it would move with that object. So So we just have gunship. We'd have the mech driving around on top of the tank. That was great. You had aircraft and stuff. That game was actually a lot of fun.
That does sound kind of fun.
Wasn't there one that was like I think it's natural selection, right? That used to be big, but that was like an asymmetrical PvP multiplayer with also RTS aspects. Like one player was a commander who's basically playing an RTS, but then actual players were the units, and then the other team was the dinosaurs, or like, like aliens.
I did see a bit about that, though the ones I saw were more like you could either choose, they were more single player ones, where you could either like be a player and do survival on the island, but you could also manage the island and like upgrade the dinosaurs and like move them around, that sort of thing. So you could kind of play it either way.
We're just trying to buy time until we inevitably have to talk about Ark. And Pixark, obviously the big one.
Pixar.
On Jurassic World, they're having one come out this year, actually. They're having Jurassic World Evolution 3. It's supposed to come out in July 2025.
I knew that those games existed, but like when I think of if I had gun to my head, name a fucking dinosaur game, obviously Ark is the first one. But like after Ark, there's only one other game that I can think of. And I would have forgotten Turok if you guys hadn't brought it up earlier. I did play that briefly when I was a kid. I didn't own it, but my friend did. But there was a game that was like an arcade game. I think it's really old, but they kept making it for the consoles, I think, called Dino Crisis. And it was just like you're shooting the dinosaur. Like it was one of those arcade games where you had the pistol and like you would aim it at the screen and you pop the shot at it. But there really aren't super mega popular dinosaur games, like for some reason.
Yeah, it's usually a combination of it's just more of a niche audience. There's a lot more folks going for kind of cash grab stuff nowadays, and that usually doesn't overlap with dinosaurs. A little bit to Eighth's point, there's not super big like common cultural. There hasn't been something really new since Jurassic Park in like terms of a modern dino movie. I mean, there's like a bit of Land Before Time, but they haven't made some of those in a while. Ice Age, I guess that might be a newer dinosaur
Does it have
movie.
dinosaurs in it? That's the one with the sloth and the mammoth.
Dinosaur adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, mammoths are loosely in the dinosaur era. There were some older woolly mammoths that were
That's
around
true.
at the time, though they're not. They were mammals, so they're not colloquially referred to as dinosaurs.
Ironically, the only reason that I know that is because you can get mammoths in Ark.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking about. There's Second Extinction. I got to play one of the betas of those, I think, with Hellhound. But I guess they canceled it. That was fun. It was like a 3-player co-op shooter. What's this one? Path of Titans. What's Path of Titans? Oh, MMO dinosaur video game currently in development. Let's look. Oh, you can buy into it.
This is one of those scam ones from
Other than Mario.
From not Fiverr. What's that website where you get the donations?
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, yeah, it's a Kickstarter game that's just a scam.
You can buy into it for $30. It's not bad. Live
Get
as a
the
dinosaur.
fuck outta
Path
here.
of Titans, the MMO survival game. It's on all the consoles and
That's
Nintendo Switch.
expensive.
Oh, it's out. It's out right now, I guess. It's all right. Let's look at this. Yo, I'm kind of intrigued by this.
It's kind of a hard box to fill of any theme of just MMO and survival together.
I mean, it's probably hard to figure out what's going to hit right. But if you look at what Ark did with the survival, if you just take that and then transplant it into an MMO where you can level up the character with a lot of other people there, and then limit the dino to like 1 or 2 that you can have on retainer to do something with in like a PvP setting, you could potentially turn it into an MMO. Like one of the like an FPS MMO like PlanetSide was before, or
Dino.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Ark is co-op. You can host servers for it. It's just usually like 20 to 30 person max, not
I don't
like
know.
unlimited.
When we say MMO, can a 30 person or like that model of game, like where you're connecting to a server that can only have X amount of people on it, like 50? I don't know if that's considered MMO,
Generally,
right?
no. Generally, no.
It has
but
to be like a
people
server where
they do market
hundreds.
games like that now. They'll market a game that has like a 10-person server as an MMO now because they'll slap MMO on anything as an indie dev. But no,
Yeah,
I
it
would
has
say
to be
no.
something that you can have like 1,000 fucking people.
It's supposed to be persistent.
And then like the
yeah.
thing is like a Pokemon or something that you pop out somehow or you summon it.
Scalability is a big part in terms of player, like maybe going up to 1,000 players. But generally, what I think of when I hear MMO is the persistence. Like it's usually always on. So that's why, like in a survival where you'd have to like get water, get food, it is maybe for the player or for the dinosaur. Like when you log out, what happens? Like
In Ark, you just lose all your shit.
Yeah.
Well, in Arc, there's a few ways you
Yeah.
can change the settings. You can change it to where the player disappears when they log out. You could change it to where if all players disconnect, the server stops, which in MMO would kind of keep running even if there are no players connected. But from a survival, that would be kind of hard to. It usually just lets you interact so much with the environment, like to build it in such a way that you wouldn't have people building over on top of everyone, kind of open world PvP. Like a lot of it's exploration as well. And it's kind of hard to do that if everyone else has already built there first.
Kingdom Hearts is a dinosaur game. Let's go.
Well, the dino pets. Yeah. I mean, but see, the only way that it's applied in video games well or okay, like semi okay, is if it's like an assistant. Like it's not the main feature of the game because it's a difficult mechanic to build around, I think. That's why there hasn't been much success in the way of making dinosaur related games.
Yeah,
Like Ark
clunky to
work because it's a survival with that theme, and then you're getting the dinos and they assist you with the survival. So it's sort of like almost like a farm simulator, but you're taking care of dinosaurs instead of farm animals.
Well, you got Super Mario. It helps you get around the level. You
I
ride Yoshi.
honestly
Yeah,
don't think
but-
of Mario as a dinosaur game. Like even when I think of
I've
Yoshi, I
never
think
heard
of
of
Yoshi
this
as a
before.
Yoshi. I mean, I guess
Arc
he
time,
probably
question
is a dinosaur, but I just think of it as Yoshi. Okay, but what is Bowser?
Bowser first came about in 2018.
It doesn't even make any sense though.
Okay, but what
Like,
about Bowser?
because his whole thing is to try to kidnap
Bowser is a bad bitch.
Princess Peach because he wants to marry her or whatever.
Oh, he's about to Google it. He's about to Google it. Mr. President, get down. Bearded. It's just Bowser as a princess. Goth GF Bowser.
So wait a minute. So he really actually just wanted Mario the entire time.
Now you got it.
Yo,
Playing
here's
3D chess.
Princess Peach
This
and
is-
Bowser
this
Yuri.
is
Let's
crazy.
go. I've derailed it, everybody. You're welcome. Okay, so back to Ark. I guess it's all roads lead to Ark. We're talking about dinosaurs. Yeah, no, for the guild, I made an Ark server way back. I spent a week like doing custom engram and XP curves and boosted rates and all that
played
to
it
get
for a
like a
week?
good experience. I played it longer than that, but just setting up the server, I spent that long. I was like mathing out the perfect engram curve and like custom max levels and rates and all this stuff. And had like there were tools that you could get to help with that. So I had like a super fine-tuned version of Ark for the guild. For this server, and it was a lot of fun. I feel like Ark is the kind of game where it's not necessarily a good out of the box experience, because everything is obnoxiously slow and designed for you to do with 30 players around the clock. But if you customize the game a lot, then like it can be really addicting if jank. Because I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff going on. You got the dinosaur Pokemon thing going on. You got the base building, which I don't know how they screwed up a grid, but they did. Snapping stuff in that game, like trying to make any kind of complete shape, like trying to build a castle wall all the way around was a nightmare. It's like a grid is like the most basic thing possible in geometry, and they fucked it up somehow. I have no idea how they did that in the engine. There's no way. I don't.
They
think
wanted to
that's how
give the modders
space
something
works.
to do.
Oh, they did. Like if you ain't using Structures Plus, your life sucks. I think they've incorporated that now into the game officially, but like yeah, you needed that shit for there to be any quality of life whatsoever. That game used to get me tilted too, because like there were the Therizinosaurus or whatever. I call them fuck chickens, but they're basically they knock you out. Like they give you the like sleep
The
debuff,
torpor.
whatever. Yeah, they give you torpor and your dinosaurs. And so like we had dinosaurs that we got attached to, and then they were fucking no clipping the wall somehow, and then like killed several of our favorite dinosaurs. So what I would do is I would kill them, chop their meat up, and throw it into the river. We got so pissed. And then I built our base right next to an Alpha Raptor spawner. We were playing, I think, Ragnarok on one of the things. So you know how that goes. So it's me getting like an ascended tier rifle and going up and sniping Alpha Raptors because, you know, every 20 minutes you'd hear, and they start breaking the fucking walls down. I made it so difficult for us by picking that spot.
Yeah.
It was great.
Ragnarok was a good map though. That's one of the user made maps too. They put it into a regular game, but it got adopted, but because it was so good. But it was that's definitely one of the best maps in the game, and it was user made. The game's got a great modding scene.
And it had some of the stuff from the DLC, but for free, right? Because I thought it had some Scorched Earth stuff in it. And then I think the Griffin was its special, like, dinosaur that was Ragnarok exclusive. The Griffin was good. Yeah, the Griffin was good because you could haul ass going downwards, and then that would give you a damage boost. And you just strafe stuff and, like, one-shot things. I remember having, like, a level 410 Griffin and, like, one-shotting T-Rexes with it.
Mm.
Well, the big thing about the Griffin is it was one of the smaller and fastest ways you could get a two-seater mount.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you really played multiplayer, you might not notice that, but you could get 2 players onto a Griffin.
The Griffin, you're talking about that thing that looked like a hawk or like an eagle?
Yeah. Because I remember them in like the like watery canyons, like River Canyon kind of part of the map. I thought like mid northwest, maybe mid center west of the map.
Yeah, they were kind of on some mountaintops. They do pretty good damage. They're pretty tricky to tame. Though that's a really good like in mid game mount. But if you're trying for like in game speed and just general shenaniganry, it's a Quetzal all the way. They're gigantic birds. They're a lot bigger than the pterodactyls. And one of the late game upgrades for them is you can strap a jet engine onto it. They go real fast. You could put
structures on those too, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could put the saddle with the
you can build structures
on it. But they were slow. They weren't fast. That was the problem with them. But what that fixes with the jet engine?
Until you get the jet engine.
Until you get fucking F-16 afterburner.
It turns them from mid speed to top speed.
Strap that Lockheed Martin on there on tap.
What the heck? I feel like a lot of the game towards the end, like when you get to the tech upgrades, it kind of ruins the game. Like you get that suit of armor that's like Iron Man, and you can fly by yourself without having the need to use one of the flyers, the flying dinosaurs. It's just kind of like, what the hell is the point of this now? Like I have all this tech crap, like everything else is bullshit. Like the tech weapon, once you have the tech weapons, you can pretty much one-shot anyone that's not wearing tech armor. So like if you're in a PvP server and you get the tech armor, you're on top. Unless there's someone else that also has that armor, you're gonna destroy them every time that they come near you. I used to be like the type of
In
player that
terms
would
of
hop onto a
PvP, yeah.
server and I would build a very tiny hut and get guns, like get the first rifle and make bullets, and then I would go and I'd make a shit ton of grenades. I'd take a pteranodon, I'd get onto the roof of the person's base, and I would tunnel into their base with grenades, and then I'd steal all their shit. I didn't even fucking want their stuff. I would just take it and then throw it on the ground so they would delete. And then I'd kill all their fucking dinos, and then I'd find their body and I'd put it in a fucking cage so that when they logged in, their body was in prison.
This sounds like Slash. This sounds like exactly what I expect to Slash.
It was so fucking fun. I loved doing that shit.
Be
And
an
then
old
they would try to
tunnel
find
rat.
my base. They couldn't find nothing, bro. They'd find that building if I didn't put it in a nice little hiding spot, but it was usually like in the middle of a
You put in
fucking
the
forest,
foliage
dense
or
as fuck,
something, yeah.
tight, tiny, like I'm talking like 2x6, bro. Like at most, like not very big. It was just a line of like forges
just to pick
and
the crafting bench.
yes, just to get up to the gun, to make gunpowder, the rifle, and bullets and grenades, and that's it. I didn't want to keep any of their shit. I just wanted to fuck them over because it was funny.
If you're just doing exploration and PvP, I can see how it would definitely level out pretty quick once you get to the tech armor stage. There, in addition to that, though, which I would say the tech armor doesn't help you at all in. Well, I mean, it helps, but it's not going to one shot or carry it. Is if you do any of the boss battles.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the boss battles, they can do a lot of damage to a lot of targets at the same time. And if it's just you by your little lonesome, you're not going to have the
Well, those
best day.
boss battles, usually you're going in there with like 10 T-Rexes and like a bunch of the little ones and some to like poison it a little bit. And you're using a gun that's poisoning or making it
Yeah,
slow or
army.
some shit. Well, like the tech armor, that tech armor definitely helps you stay in the sky because you can hover with it. So then some things can't hit you. Or getting into those monster arenas, like one of the ones in Ragnarok, you have to go into like a volcano cave thing, and you can basically just bypass all the traps. Like there's spiders in the beginning, I believe, and then you can fly past those, and then you get past the lava area, and then you're to the arena. And yeah, you're alone, but because you can't take any dinos with you if you do that. But if you're on a private server or something where the stats are like in your favor, you might be able to kill the boss by yourself. Depends on what you're playing. Vanilla, definitely not. If you get the vanilla and get the tech though, you're god pretty much.
Even in the most modded servers, like it's still very much on the dino like itself. Like there's a lot you can do with the breeding and all that, but like if you're taking in a T-Rex and you're going against like a little raptor guy, like that T-Rex could be level 20 and your raptor could be level like 400. But that T-Rex is probably going to eat it for
100%.
lunch.
What was the underground arc map? I always wanted to play that expansion, but didn't get to. It's like the giant cave one.
I didn't like that one. It had a very fucking annoying mechanic. Like it was always fucking dark down there. And then at a certain time, there was like a weird monster that would come out like the night hours or something. There was like some kind of fucked up, really overpowered monster that would come out. And if you were caught out there without one of those light dinos on your shoulder, it would attack you and then you get fucked up really easily. And then the part of that map where you would go to farm the most expensive and rare thing was like there were parts of the map where you could go outside, but outside the sun was so fucking hot that like you could only go outside at night, and that was like the only time of day that it was safe to go out onto the surface. And then you could mine this crap that was up there that you needed pretty much for all the good stuff that you needed. And it was just, it made for like a really fucking annoying play style because you could only play and do what you wanted at certain times a day. And then if you didn't have one of that expansion or that map introduced the dino that it didn't fly, but it like glided in the air. It was a kind of like a lizard, like an iguana, but it was like an iguana that had wings, and then it could cling onto the walls and it could climb
Oh, yeah, I remember
vertically
those.
up and down the walls.
Didn't it have like
Forgot what that-
cloaking to it at chameleon or something?
I think so. Yeah. I think it could go like invisible, and then if it wasn't moving, I think it was.
Yo, this is so Studio Wildcard or Snail Games. They had they had an expansion announcement a month ago for Ark, another expansion for Ark Aquatica, but the trailer is all AI generated. That is such an Ark devs thing to do.
Oh God, yeah. I saw that. That was more than a month ago that I saw that though, and it was terrible, fucking terrible, and it was not
That's
well
hilarious.
received. The community
That's
roasted the
hilarious.
fuck out of them.
They did. That's such a them thing to do. Ark, I feel
Fucking
like, is the
bums.
kind of game in the first place where it's like it was a team that just happened to get really successful, but I don't feel like they really kind of knew what they were doing, sort of. Like the thing that has the most effort into the game is definitely the dinosaur models themselves. Like the devs just wanted to make dinosaurs. All of the other stuff was just in their way, like coding and making graphics and all that. That just happened to be something they kind of had to do. Like even how they do their graphics is like just post process everything. That's why Ark needed a beast PC to run.
Yeah.
Like it's like the kind of game a kid would make where it's like, okay, so we're gonna have dinosaurs and we're gonna have mechs and you're gonna have robot lasers on the dinosaurs, and like that's part of what makes it fun, but it's also a game that's like not at all polished at any point other than the dinosaur models.
It's gotten a little bit better in the newer one. The Ark Survival
The
Evolved
UE5
is
one.
the one that I think we probably played the most. That's UE4. The new one, Ark Ascended, is the UE5 one. They did do, I think some of that might be Unreal Engine 5 doing some heavy lifting, but it did improve a lot of optimization. I mean, you still need like the specs. It's not the lightest game still, but it has a lot less memory leaks. It's generally a lot more smooth and less spontaneous oddities.
Yeah. Where they got me with that one was that it was a re-release, and I get it. They redid the game in UE5, but they're fucking crazy if they thought that I was going to pay full price for that fucking game. It was the same fucking game, dude. Like that sort of pissed me off, and I have a lot of hours in Ark. In the original Ark, I have probably close to 1,000 hours. Let me look. 619 hours on Steam.
Did you ever dig into the water content?
Yeah, with the megalodons and I forgot what the other thing that has a really long neck is called, but there was a dino down there that they had underwater caves with that expansion too, that expanded the underwater. It was a cool expansion. The expansions were cool. They were fun. Most of the knowledge that I have of dinos and like their names and stuff come from that game, because they were using, like, they don't name the pterodactyl, what we call pterodactyl. It was called pteranodon because that's the scientific name of it. Like they're using the scientific names of the real dinosaurs in the game.
I mean, pterodactyl is a real dinosaur.
Yeah, I thought it was pteranodon.
No, I mean, their pteranodon is a similar, but slightly different. Pterodactyls were like kind of mid-sized, and it was the classic, like when it lands, you see it like crawling around it with its legs and using its wings to move also.
Oh, pterodactylus.
That's
okay,
pterodactyl.
I see.
Yeah, they had teeth, and it's a bird with teeth.
I thought they were like the same fucking thing because they look the same.
Similar.
The pteranodon doesn't have any teeth, and the pterodactylus does have teeth.
Yep, pterodactyl does have teeth. Pteranodon, it's a lot bigger. They tend to be more in the air. You'd probably ride those more. But those tended to eat like uh, more herbivorous, some fish, insects, smaller critters, that sort of thing. But the pterodactyl, because they had teeth, they would go for more like raptors and smaller land
So
critters.
they were like more mean.
Yeah, pteranodon's more like a kingfisher, like a pelican kind of thing. It had that really big curved bill, but it didn't have any teeth in it.
How the hell do you know all this shit? I know you didn't learn this from Ark because Ark doesn't have pterodactyls in it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. There's dinosaurs that exist outside. Did you ever get to see the squid? Any of the squids underwater?
I feel like they killed me a few times, but the underwater one, I did play it, but I didn't really like being out in the water. And I think I tried like one of those modded servers when I was doing like underwater stuff where you could build a base on like one of the rafts and like you could move the base around. And that was the limited experience that I had with the underwater content because it like usually going underwater just meant death. And it was annoying to make the diving suit because you needed to get pearls to make the helmet because you needed pearls to make the mask because of the glass, I guess, or the.
Yeah, I was just curious because they did have different water levels. So like if you're at the surface, you'll see like the birds and the whatever, like a few dolphins every now and again. When you get a little bit deeper, that's kind of the ones you mentioned, like the plesiosaur and the megalodons. It gets some sharks out there, but that's just mid range. Once you get to the deep waters, megalodons don't spawn anymore. You get some whole new set of enemies, like leeches and anglerfish, the little guys with the lantern in front of them, and also the deep sea squid.
Oh, you're talking about that thing that's like has like a ball that's like hanging over its head, look like a fishing pole line.
Yeah, anglerfish.
Fuck,
Anglerfish.
I didn't know about that.
It's really dark. It's kind of hard to play down there too, because there's not a lot of light once you get that deep.
You basically have to have one of those.
Slash would reincarnate as an anglerfish if he could. Like, talk about a troll creature.
Didn't they like lured things to come towards the light and then they would bite them and kill them?
Yep.
That is exactly what they do.
Oh, they're ugly motherfuckers. Yeah, I guess it would fit. Down. It tracks.
Wow.
They need the light. That's their mating mechanism.
You gotta entrance the bitch.
Gotta hit him with them RGBs.
Even unmodded, though, kind of to Eighth's point, there's an insane amount of customization in that game. But something that was nearly universal was the adjusting down the taming settings. Because to tame dinosaurs in Ark, you would need to have the right kind of kibble, the right kind of food. So if it's exactly the food they like, it'll tame them faster. If it's a food, but then there's other foods they might not eat at all. If you're trying to tame an herbivore, you can't give it meat; it won't eat it.
And you need to like feed it every half an hour over like 24 hours, kind of stuff.
That's insanity, dude.
Yeah, straight up. The default settings, straight up, if you're taming like a wild level 200 something, you could straight be there for like 12 to 15 hours. And if you walk away or stop feeding it, it gets too hungry, it wakes up and walks off.
Ark is designed around an entire college dorm playing it around the clock at base settings.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't play the official servers because it was too slow. Like everything you did was too slow because even when you queue up things to build, there's a build time too, and it's long as shit unless you're on a modded server. It's like the taming, the building, everything is just if it takes too fucking long and there's no fucking reason for it, I don't like it. So
the official servers are laggy as heck.
I just didn't like it. Yeah, I had to play custom with like modified rates for the taming and the building.
The funny thing is 10 times rate makes it feel almost balanced. It's like that's how far off the default rates are. That like 10 times you think that'd be like, oh, this is gonna be like way overkill, super easy. And even at 10 times rate, it takes you like hours to build stuff.
Well, I mean, and let alone try to play the game by yourself. At that point, you can't play the game by yourself on the official server. Like, you need to join a tribe or something, or you need to start with ideally 2 to 4 other people, so that there's a group of 5 people playing on there, and then like someone that doesn't have any type of life that can be on the game at all times when you're trying to tame shit. Because if you try to get a Giga, good luck, motherfucker. You better have somebody online for like 3 days. And you better have a shit ton of fucking kibble to tame that thing.
Arc is super front-loaded difficulty, too, because like right out of the gate, before you have any speed stat or weapons or anything, you can't outrun anything. You can't beat anything. You can't survive anything. Like, if you aggro half of the shit, you're just dead.
Yep. And you're spawning on the fucking beach every night until you make a bed. And the beaches are always surrounded by raptors.
Yeah, in terms of survival games, it definitely leaves you pretty high and dry early game compared to some of the others. But I would argue that like once you get a sufficiently large base, I mean, probably mid to late game, but when you start getting enough that your dinos have reached replacement level, you're no longer upset when Timmy dies because you have 20 more Timmys in the back room. You can like set them up for patrols and like defending stuff. It's pretty complex what you can make some of them do. And there are different specializations. Like there's some rock dudes that you can just have like randomly wander around. You can just set them to explore an area. And some like they'll maybe break rocks really fast. And they'll also, whenever they pick up a rock, it's like 20% of the weight as if you picked up the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So they can carry a lot more because it's lighter for them. And they have like a tree specialized dude. I don't know if they have like a fish one, but you can have like kind of pseudo specialized workers to automate some resource collection. That's what made the game
good. You got to have that Ankleo so that you can go get the stone and the metal ore, I think. I think it picked up copper or iron, and it was only 1/10 of the weight if it was carrying it. Or maybe it was stone. I can't remember. It's one of them.
It varies. That's one of the settings people usually tweak in the server options, but it is significantly reduced weight for the
And they also like, they get more, they gather more when they break the thing too.
Yep.
And they get more per hit.
Yeah, if you're doing it if you're trying to play against the dinos instead of with the dinos, you're going to have a very hard time in Arc.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's beat the game without using, like, all the campaigns and bosses without using any dinosaurs. Like, that'd be a good challenge run. Like,
without
do all of the
dinos?
Expansions. Yeah, do Genesis Part 1 and 2, all of that with no dinos. Challenge run. No hit.
That sounds unhinged. That sounds crazy. That doesn't even sound like you're not even playing that's like hard mode, freaking. That's like challenge mode to the extreme, because like some of those bosses, they have so much HP.
I mean, there's the people who've done the whole Soulsborne franchise without getting hit once as like one big marathon. Like, that's crazy to me. That's insane. Insane knowledge and skill.
I've seen that guy. Didn't the guy like do it naked or something? That's why he couldn't get hit, because if he got hit, he would instantly get one shot.
Probably, yeah.
I think I've seen some videos on that guy.
Yeah, I saw some of the documentaries on that. It's like crazy. That'd just be so stressful. Could you imagine you're at like the end of the third game in or something and you get hit? Say, okay, let's go back 80 hours. Crazy.
I'm not built for that.
You built different.
Well, it's kind of hard to say because like it's a little bit of an open-ended survival. So like, what do you mean beat the game? I'm finding a lot of like 100 days with no dinos, and they're like still progressing in different techs and
just
stuff.
Beating the bosses probably didn't. The Genesis ones have like actual stories and campaigns, don't they? Like the later stuff. So it had like part 1 and 2. I thought that had more of a storyline going on. I didn't play those ones.
I mostly played the Island and Ragnarok. I didn't play
The
any of
later
the
stuff
Genesis
looked like
ones.
it got more fancy. That was I thought was cool about Ark is a survival game. Is a lot of survival games just mean they made like half of some game mechanics and no actual content, and it was like, okay, figure out what you're doing. Whereas Ark, well, janky, it did have like dungeons and bosses and stuff, and that was cool. It had like PvE RPG content that you'd find in other genres of games, and like going through a giant dungeon with your T-Rexes and shit was cool. It was a cool concept.
Yeah, but not at the start though. Like only
helped
halfway
them.
through did they start having that. I don't
Yeah,
even think that there were
certainly.
any bosses in the beginning. There might have been one on because the first map is called the Island.
Yeah, the island
And
was pretty basic.
I feel like
They
you
added
couldn't
lore
summon
to
that
it.
boss.
That was about it.
There were no quests. They put quests in whenever they added that tech stuff that would like transfer you into like the computer or whatever. I don't even really understand it. I played it a little bit. I did not like
it.
it.
A lot of that did come later.
Ragnarok had some dungeons.
Once they got that PvE though, and the bosses, it really helped them triceratop the charts.
Flash had such a delayed reaction to that. He missed it the first time. He just agreed with you and then started laughing.
I processed. I was like, wait a minute. He was making
DSL
a funny.
Noises. There's more where that came from.
Dinosauring through this content.
Oh my god.
What do you call a dino in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots? Tyrannosaurus Tex.
My god, why am I laughing?
Does it so good?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, overall, I mean, kind of any Ark map, overall it's better with a group. It's one of those games you can solo, but
I feel like custom private server is the way to go
definitely
with that
designed
game.
around.
Like grab some buddies, make a customized server, mod it up a little bit, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good out of the box experience. Like if you're gonna just play a game that's survival out of the gate, like Conan Exiles or something would be better. Like how that's balanced by default is a lot better out of the box.
Minecraft would be better. I've never played Minecraft, but I'm just imagining Minecraft's probably better by off the cuff. And Valheim, like vanilla Valheim would be definitely better than Ark. Now with mods though, it's arguable. Valheim is a lot different with mods and can be fun. But
Power World's good.
Ark is like one of those games that you cannot play without, or I don't know. For me, I can't play Ark without mods. Like I'm not gonna ever download and install Ark and then just play the fucking vanilla or play even like the survival of the fittest mode, which is like a different game.
What kind of mods did you play? I did heavily modified settings. Like they were very customized from the defaults, mostly in terms of like wait times for mechanics, that sort of thing. But I never did like any third-party actual mods to the game. Yeah, to Ark.
It's crazy.
Huh. That's part of the unhinged of this episode. I think that's the most unhinged thing that's been said during this episode. Playing Ark without any third-party mods. Like, what the fuck were you doing? Did you get to end game then?
Built different.
Did you ever? Yeah, got to end game.
How long did it take you?
If during holidays.
He probably ran it on emulated Linux too.
I changed the settings. Like it. Hey man, it works.
Psychopath.
Don't have to deal with Windows. Don't have to deal with recall.
The fucking new game and that what was the mod? The
like
building
Structure
mod
Plus or whatever it is.
Structure, yeah, something plus. If playing it without that is fucking cancer. The second that I tried that mod, that became like the first mod that had to be downloaded in order for me to even try to think about doing a playthrough of Ark.
You mean
I'd have to check that out. I definitely never did it with any of them.
It makes the building work like it does in literally every other game designed ever, where it actually is like all functional.
I don't get why the fuck.
I think it was later. They did add a line up and clip mechanic. You had to like push a button for it to make it line up, but they did add in a way to like make things more line up, more native into
Yeah,
the
because
game.
they were probably taking that mod's thing.
No, but there were ways to do it.
Yeah, but you had to game the fucking game itself to get it to work and do what you wanted for no fucking apparent reason. Like, it just should have worked.
Be ways for it to get it to happen. It should just
Admittedly, yeah.
happen. It's a fucking grid. Let us build in 3-dimensional space. Like, having a stackable foundation, it makes sense. You put a block and you put it on another block, but Arc don't work like that out of the gate. Like, now I think they've included some of those features in the base game now, but like old Arc was like everything was so unnecessarily difficult. Like the Conan Exiles, that had a good building system. It's a grid. You snap things to the grid. You can't fuck up the grid because it's a grid.
I never played that game. I didn't. The Conan Exiles, how does it compare? Is it just Arc, except it has no dinos in it?
It's kind of different. It's got some more like Skyrim-y RPG-ish aspects. Like you do have dungeons and they have like puzzles and stuff, and you have thralls, or kind of the version of dinosaurs where you fight enemies and like enslave them, and then they become your dudes. And there's like some story stuff. There's skills. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good, I thought. It's some
we should talk about more survival games. I mean, have you guys played a lot of survival games?
I have.
Yeah, maybe we do that like next time or something. Deep dive it.
Deep dive.
I want to play that new survival game that's about to come out, the Dune one.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's
there
good.
you go. You're talking about Conan Exiles. This is just going to be upgraded Conan Exiles, but MMO scale, and with spice this time. I want to gank some other players for their spice with Slash.
I think spice is just cocaine.
It's cocaine, but better. So it makes your eyes glow Gatorade blue. I don't think cocaine can do that yet, unless you put some like uranium in it.
That would be dope, though.
Too much aura.
Literally. They pay our FBI agents overtime. Our FBI agents are actually the highest paid FBI agents. Fun fact. All right. Well, we'll wrap up with our dinosaur chicken nuggets. Next week, we'll be back with our first episode with a guest. So there'll be 4 of us dipshits. It's going to be about starter anime, good introductory anime, and the different genres of anime with our resident isekai trash man. So we'll look forward to that. That's for the degenerates out there, or the people who aren't yet degenerates who want to get culture in their life.
The aspiring degenerates.
Yeah, maybe you've just started pouring whiskey in your Gatorade and you want to take it further. So now it's time to learn about truck-kun and sundays and the other types of dairies.
All right.
There's a lot of dairies. Be funny.
That's with Mr. Trahir, right?
Mr. Trahir. He'll always be Trahir for you. But that's neither Trahir nor Trahir.
Okay.
Thank you for listening again to Unhinged and Unranked, everybody, and we'll see you next week so that we can help desensitize you to the world of anime.